News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Citi News.
It's midday. A very good afternoon to you and welcome to the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are live from our studios at number 11 Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. The news is also live on all our partner stations across the country and around the world. We are live on citinewsroom.com. My name is Hawa Idrisu Mustafa and this afternoon I'm here with
Kweku Ediama Ansa.
Coming up, 2 more persons arrested over Cecilia Dapa's stolen money. Meanwhile, lawyer for one of the accused persons is accusing the police of frustrating their efforts in meeting the bail conditions.
The only role of the police is to look at the house or the abode of the surety. But this one, when we went to the police station, the Special Intelligence Unit, they themselves have taken it upon themselves to investigate and interpreting the court order.
Also coming up, tricycle operators in the Ashanti region escalate their protest against a KMA directive to restrict their movement into the central business district as the implementation of the ban enters its second day.
They are now clearly sacking us from the central business district for us to go to the highways, for the cars to kill us more, or they are rather looking for the betterment of the project.
Still ahead, 4 persons confirmed dead in an accident at Nkinkanso Daso on the Kumasi-Techiman Highway.
Now, what they are confirming is 4, because 1 at the scene as at now, and then 3 were confirmed dead at the hospital.
And later, we'll take you to the Upper West region, where some persons with disabilities in the Wa municipality have expressed grave concerns over the government's delay in the disbursement of the District Assembly's Common Fund, forcing them into dire economic hardship.
Common Fund is giving us not enough for us. In fact, it doesn't come very frequently. It doesn't come always.
All that and more on Citi Prime News, which is live on all our affiliates across the 16 regions of the country. In the Western region, we are live on Adrenpa 100.7 in Takwa, Beach FM 105.5 in Takrade, Bono region, this is Greener FM 95.9 in Sunyain, Ashanti region, Focus FM 94.3 on KNUST campus in Kumasi, Orange FM 107.9 also in Kumasi. If you're in the Volta region, you are listening to us on Revival FM 99.3 in Tajewu, VOV Radio 95.7 in Hohoi, Northern region, Radio Bimbala 91.9 in Bimbala, Upper East, Quality FM 88.7 in Garu, Upper West, we are live on Tonsong FM 97.3 in Wa and Jurapa FM 96.1 in Jurapa.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Grateful for choosing us. Let's start the bulletin from the court. The Attorney General Godfred Yeboadame has served notice that his office will take over prosecution of the case involving the monies allegedly stolen from the home of former Sanitation Minister Cecilia Abna Dapa. This was related to the court by the police prosecutor handling the case. Last week, the police forwarded the docket to the Attorney General's office for advice. The Attorney General's office revealed that the advice will capture the culpability of the accused persons and whether the victim in the case, Cecilia Abna Dapa, ought to be probed further following concerns over the source of the money. Though the Attorney General's office is yet to make public its advice, DSP Emmanuel Nyamiche stated in court that the AG's office would take over the prosecution. Meanwhile, 2 more persons have been arrested in connection with the alleged stolen money. The accused persons were not, however, in court, as the prosecutor explained that the investigators are currently in Tamale for further investigation. The arrest of the 2 brings the accused persons to 7. One of them, the second accused person, Sarah Ejay, was granted bail 2 weeks ago but is yet to meet the bail conditions. The other 6, including the new 2 arrests, have been remanded into police custody. The case has since been adjourned to August 8, 2023. Lawyer for the second accused person Augustine Jemfi, however, accused the police of frustrating their effort in meeting the bail conditions.
They were supposed to bring all the accused persons to court, but they were not in court. And prosecution gave an excuse that the investigators involved in the matter traveled to Tamale in furtherance of their investigation in Tamale, so they couldn't return to bring them. And we, the defense lawyers, tried to push the court to grant them bail whilst investigation continues. Because for criminal cases, investigation can go on forever and ever. Sometimes, even after sentencing and people have been punished, new evidences come out. So investigation in criminal cases doesn't just end. But my Lord, in her wisdom, decided to remand them till the 8th of August. God willing, 8th of August, will all be in court for bail. They are entitled to bail. Every offense is bailable. However, it depends on the discretion of the judge, and the judge has exercised her discretion not to grant the bail today. So there's nothing we can do. We have to wait.
Counsel, but we understand that A2 already had been given bail. Have you been able to meet the conditions?
Yes, the last adjourned date, A2 was granted bail in the sum of 1 million Ghana cedis, 2 sureties, to produce their Ghana card. In fact, normally when bail is granted at the court, the practice directive is that it is the registrar of the court who interprets the bail condition. The only role of the police is to look at the house or the abode of the sureties. But this one, when we went to the police station, the Special Intelligence Unit, they themselves have taken it upon themselves to investigate and interpreting the court order.
Lawyer for the second accused person in the ongoing Cecilia Dapa stolen money trial, Augustine Jemfi.
Let's take you to the Ashanti region now, because a group calling itself the Concerned Youth of Asawase says it will hold a series of activities to seek justice for a 34-year-old who was allegedly brutalized, leading to his death by police at Dagomba line. Salawuddin Tafilu died after he was allegedly brutalized by police when he was arrested during a swoop in the area. However, the Interior Minister, Ambrose Derry, gave contrary reports of the turn of events leading to his death. The death of Salawuddin angered some youth in the area who attacked the Asawase police station. Now, the president of the group, Umar Harris, questioned the Interior Minister's pronouncement on the matter and wants the police officers to be brought to book.
The police officer, nobody is above the law of Ghana. The duty of the police is to protect life and properties, to maintain peace and order. So if you come to, solve a situation or restore calmness and you end up killing people, then it's better you were not there. So what we are saying is they should look into the matter again. We want justice for the young man, because as of now he's been buried, but I don't think his soul is resting in peace. It is obvious. It is the beating he suffered from the police. They beat him to death. It's as simple as that. The young man wasn't sick. He told the people from his house when he was painting, he got out. He was going to buy something, and even stepping out, he played football before he saw the police and ran into them. So how can you tell me that he is sick? If he is sick, isn't it professional enough for the police, when they detected that he's a suspect and he's sick, to take him to the hospital? Are they not supposed to protect lives and properties, or lives? What stopped them from taking him to the hospital? So we are highly disappointed. And I don't want to begrudge the Interior Minister, because I know he doesn't have the information to what's happened. So we are calling on them. This is what the Zongo youth of Asawase are saying. They should go back and revisit the topic, conduct an independent investigation. They should bring the culprits, those officers who did that, to book and let them face the full rigors of the law.
You heard there Umar Harris, who is the president of a youth group known as the Concerned Youth of Asawase.
The government has stressed the need to deploy body cameras for police officers to assist the police administration acquire evidence on incidents involving the police. This follows the recent demise of a 34-year-old Yusuf Salawuddin, who was allegedly manhandled by police during a swoop at Asawase, which subsequently led to his death. Providing an update on the matter to Parliament, Interior Minister Ambrose Derry says the police are determined to use technological intervention in adducing evidence in such circumstances.
We also thought that the families had lost, and we came out with a compensation package. We haven't given up. But this house, like me, also got to know that we had a technological shortcoming. And that's why we came to this house. And we're now pursuing body cams, because in our jurisdiction, A word of two persons against each other alone gives us a challenge. So that's why we are working to get that technical intervention to be able to tell in each case what the people have done. So I believe that we should give the police administration a chance, because sometimes when we also want to overlook and not acknowledge their effort, we might also be having problems. Because, Mr. Speaker, after all, in this matter, it took complaints from the community to get the people in.
He heard the Interior Minister Ambrose Derry.
Now, 4 persons have been confirmed dead and several others injured after a truck and a U-turn bus collided head-on the Kumasi-Techiman Highway. The incident happened on the Nkinkaso-Daso stretch of the highway this dawn. The injured have been taken to the Nkinkaso Government Hospital, while the bodies have been also deposited at the morgue. Fire officer at the Nkinkaso Fire Station, ADO2 Alhassan Ewutoma, gave the details of the story.
At the time I got there, the place there's a curve around that area, and there are some potholes. So to my knowledge, there was some kind of dodging from other places, and maybe one leaving the site and entering into another person's site, and they collided. Because when you look at it, the articulated truck, the bus which was coming from Kumasi, after the crash, it turned its twist to Kumasi again. But the articulator went into the gutter, and the whole face of this was condemned. The articulator was condemned, and the bus, the front wheel was the same thing, condemned. So as of now, I think that's what I can say about it.
So how many deaths can you confirm for now?
For now, what they are confirming is 4, because one at the scene as at now, and then 3 were confirmed dead at the hospital. So we don't know the number which will be added again. So far, 4 has been confirmed.
Fire officer at the Nkinkaso Fire Station, ADO2 Alhassan Ewutoma.
Let's still stay in the Ashanti region now, because tricycle operators in that region are escalating their protest against a directive to restrict their movement in part of the Central Business District by the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. The tricycle operators, who have mustered up in their numbers, are heading to areas where the enforcement team from the KMA is visiting. 9 tricycle operators reported to the police this morning after they were arrested and granted bail when they clashed with some city guards from the assembly yesterday. The leadership of the Pragia Workers Association of Ghana says the reasons given by the assembly to restrict their movement are not convincing enough. Ayamdago Amadi Dauda is secretary of the group.
They are now clearly sacking us from the Central Business District for us to go to the highways, for the cars to kill us more, or they are rather looking for the betterment of the Praja. Are they looking for the betterment of the Praja? Because this decision will not help us, but will rather expose us to more risk rather than their decision that they are trying to minimize the accidents we have been doing in the central business. The question we want the KMA to answer, since the existence of the Praja in the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, what policy, what bylaws have they come out with to regulate our movement? When you go to BBL, when you go to Tapagoso, when you go to Bechem, the authorities plus the police and the associations of the motor, they've come out with a unique sticker, a unique code for the motors so that they can regulate their movement. When a motor goes to commit an offense, when you pick that serial number or that code, they can call the database of the authorities. Then they will be able to identify that this motor is coming from this area. So therefore they can control. But unlike Kumasi here, we don't have that. They are only interested in banning. And that banning, the method they are using will not help us, but it will rather expose us.
Ayamdago Amadi Dauda is secretary of the Pragia Workers Association of Ghana in the Ashanti region. Let's go live to the regional capital and speak to my colleague Hafiz Tijani. Good afternoon to you, Hafiz. Many thanks for your time. We understand this protest is causing huge traffic into the Central Business District. Tell us more about that.
Well, so if you come to the main Swami leading to KJTR and the Central Market, as well as the Central Business District, these tricycle operators have mounted roadblocks, and both commercial and non-commercial vehicles are not able to move through. And all of them are stuck in traffic, and this is causing a huge vehicular traffic. Passengers who are coming from the Swami roundabout direction heading to the Central Market and the KJCA market have been forced to trek from the racecourse area to the KJCA market and to their destination within the Central Business District. We have seen a deployment of some police officers who are here, but they are far away from where these tricycle operators have masked up, and the situation is just getting worse because these tricycle operators are saying that day 2 of the ban, if the KMA is not allowing them to work, they will not also allow other people to perform their activities. They will not also allow the commercial drivers or the other vehicles from the other transport operators to also ply their business. So that is what is happening currently.
How are the police trying to manage the situation to ensure that there's free flow of traffic in the Central Business District of Kumasi?
Well, I have seen few police officers who have come here, but they have not gotten to where these tricycle operators have mounted the major roadblocks. You know, they mounted roadblocks on sections of the road, and I have seen police officers directing some people to help them, some drivers at the various bus terminals to help them remove the roadblocks. But all the tricycle operators, after mounting the roadblocks, have moved back and have masked up at a particular point where they have also blocked the road.
What has the KMA Assembly, the Transport Department, been saying with regards to this particular situation? It's day 2. These people obviously are going to make their job difficult. What has been the response from the Transport Department of the KMA?
Well, for the KMA, it is bent on implementing this directive because this is not coming from a particular department. It is an assembly decision, and the KMA is attributing the implementation of this directive to a Bloomberg report on road safety that attributed the rising number of crashes in the region to the increasing number of tricycle operators within the city. So the KMA said it would implement this directive and nothing will stop them. So the police has just moved in here. The police is trying to persuade the protesters to get them to remove the roadblocks to allow for free flow of traffic. So the police is just trying to calm and scare and trying to persuade some of them. So some of them are still currently trying to remove the roadblocks they have used to block portions of the road. So that is what is happening currently. So there are armed police officers who have come here from the Formed Police Unit of the Ghana Police Service, and they are currently trying to persuade these people to remove the roadblocks to allow for free flow of traffic. But if you look at the traffic situation, the vehicular traffic situation here, it's very serious and people are not able to move. People have to just get down to go to their various destinations.
Now, briefly, before you go, for people who patronize the services of these tricycle operators, how is this directive affecting them?
Well, the tricycle movement within the city has become one of the commonest means of transport in the Kumasi metropolis and the Ashanti region for that matter. A number of people, a lot of people now prefer the tricycle to even the commercial vehicles and the taxi cabs, for a reason being that these tricycle operators sometimes are able to maneuver at areas where there are traffic vehicular traffic or congestion, they are able to maneuver and get through. But when they are in the taxi cabs and other commercial vehicles running intra-city are not able to do so. So the tricycle has become one of the commonest means of transport within the city, and I would say a lot of people prefer that to using the other means of transport in the city.
Grateful for your time. Hafiz Tijani is our Ashanti regional correspondent, bringing us up to speed on a protest by tricycle operators in the Ashanti region who are restricting, who we are told they have been directed to restrict their movement into part of the central business district of Kumasi by the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. We keep an eye on that particular story and bring you up to speed as and when we have it. You are still listening to the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM with me, Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. This afternoon, I'm here with Kweku Idriama Ansa. Still to come, West Africa Examination Council WAEC to serialize some selected subjects in the ongoing West African Senior High School Certificate Examination. The move, according to WAEC, is to keep exams more practices. We have details coming up shortly. Please stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
The entries have been received and the marking has begun. Who makes it to the next round of the Literacy Challenge 2023? Randomly selected entries will be read on 97.3 Citi FM, on Brunch in the City and the Traffic Avenue, and on Breakfast Daily on Citi TV. Stay tuned to Citi TV and 97.3 Citi FM to find out who makes it to Level 2 of the Literacy Challenge 2023. Level 2, the aptitude test. The top 50 contestants from across Ghana to make it to the next round of the Literacy Challenge shall take part in a written aptitude test. Date, Saturday, 12th August 2023. Venue, Accra Digital Center. Time, 12 noon. Level 3, the live quiz. The top 10 contestants from Level 2 shall compete for the grand prize of 10,000 Ghana cedis and a trophy in a classic quiz competition. Call 0558 973 973 for more details. The Literacy Challenge 2023 is powered by Citi TV, supported by 97.3 Citi FM, and is sponsored by the Ghana National Gas Company, Wibby Crunchy Biscuits by M4 Foods, SIC Insurance PLC, Prospectus Ghana Limited, Dext Technology, Alive Soap, and Fortune Rice.
Ajwapa, what's all this condom business? Oh, I've told her over and over again that she won't get pregnant, and she's still insisting. Oh, isn't she the same person who said we would not have sex till we go out for at least 2 years? For all this time? Oh, and she still can't trust me enough? Ama, when I try to do something small, no, condom this, condom that. So handsome man like me, she probably thinks I have HIV.
Using a condom will protect you and your partner. Condoms are effective for protection against a wide spectrum of STIs and HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Thank you for staying with us. The West African Examination Council, WAEC, has confirmed that it will serialize some selected subjects in the West African Senior High School Certificate Examination, WASI. The move, according to the council, is to curb exam malpractices. A total of 444,204 candidates drawn from 975 schools are expected to sit for this year's WASI. Addressing the media, the head of public affairs at WAEC, John Kapi, says the chosen subjects will be serialized because those subjects can't be compromised.
Serialization is not anything that is landing from space. Besides, nothing is changed about the structure of the questions. It is just that we have serialized some of them. As I said earlier, it's our trade secret and want to maintain that. We are not unduly punishing anybody. It's the same questions, just that there has been some serialization. There are some of these papers that are high stake. And so for those high stake papers, we certainly would want to serialize them. Secondly, it's a very expensive venture to get into. It comes at a very high cost, it's time consuming and all of that. And so we concentrate more on the high stake papers, and then there are a few of them that we consider as low risk, and therefore we do not serialize those ones.
You had the head of public affairs at the West African Examination Council, John Kapi.
In more stories, the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, has discovered around 5,000 anomalies in homes and institutions during the third week of its 2-month revenue mobilization exercise. Additionally, the power distributor has successfully integrated approximately 15,000 customers who were previously not included in its system. Leila Abubakar, who is the external communications manager of the ECG, mentioned that these efforts will contribute to achieving revenue targets by the completion of the third phase of the National Revenue Mobilization Campaign in September.
We have been able to visit over 350,000 customers. Out of the 350,000 customers, we were able to identify about 50,000 anomalies. The anomalies come in the form of those with meters that are faulty, those without meters, those who have connected directly, illegal connections, and other bypasses that are affecting us. We have resolved some of these issues by putting some of the customers on a flat rate. We have also provided meters to some of these customers, and some of the issues that go beyond solving them on ground, we have reported to our offices for them to be sorted out. We have also managed to identify 15,000 new customers who have now been put on our database, which is actually the whole aim of this exercise. We intend to increase the number of customers in our database because we believe that if we're able to increase the number of customers that we have, it will translate to an increase in revenue for ECG.
Leila Abubakar is the external communications manager of the ECG, who has been providing this update. Let's just stay with ECG because 2 persons arrested on Monday for posing as workers of ECG and defrauding a customer at Daman are yet to be prosecuted, as the police say they are still investigating the issue. The 2 impersonators, Stella Ankoma, 23-year-old, and Eric Kwesi, 29 years, sold and installed a fake electricity meter to an unsuspecting client at Daman in the Western region at a cost of 4,700 Ghana cedis. Speaking to City News in Takoradi, almost 48 hours after the arrest, the Western Regional Public Relations Officer of the ECG, Benjamin Kweku, said the ECG hopes that the police would soon finish their investigation and prosecute the suspects to deter others.
The 2 persons are still in police custody. They were detained on the grounds of fraud by false representation. And I am hopeful that they will be charged after the investigation has been concluded by the police. We are still encouraging the general public that when persons come to them without any form of proper identification as workers of the ECG or officials of the ECG, they should alert the ECG or the nearest police station for such persons to be apprehended. We are hopeful they will be punished accordingly so that it will serve as deterrent to others who have in mind to commit similar offences against the ECG and the state.
Benjamin Kwaku is the Western Regional Public Relations Officer of the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG.
The Ghana Integrity Initiative and the Ghana Anti-Corruption Coalition are calling for the immediate protection of the 2 house helps accused of stealing huge sums of money from former Sanitation Minister Cecilia Abna Dapa. According to the anti-graft bodies, the 2 need protection because they are witnesses to the unfolding case. Whilst commending the swift action by the special prosecutor in a joint statement, they emphasized that questions about the sources of the funds were legitimate and must be investigated. In addition to their earlier call for a transparent and comprehensive investigation, they are also calling for the immediate passing of the Conduct of Public Officers Bill to strengthen Ghana's asset declaration regime.
Now, teachers of Ebri Girls Senior High School are appealing to the government through the Ministry of Education to fast-track payment of the 10% balance of the contract sum to the contractor who constructed an 18-flat teachers' bungalow in the school. The project is yet to be handed over by the contractor for use by teachers 3 years after its completion. More than 21 teachers of the school currently reside outside campus, with some moving from Koforidua and Accra to Abri daily. Some worried staff of the school who spoke to City News on condition of anonymity shared their frustrations and pleaded with the Minister of Education to immediately intervene.
Our challenge is that most of the teachers are staying outside. And fortunately, we've had the government coming in to construct such edifice, 18-unit, 2-bedroom bungalow for teachers. And what we are asking the government to do is that we know they've done well for Ebri Girls. We are appealing to the government to talk to the contractor once the project has come to an end, to hand over the project to the schools.
Moving all the way from Accra to Koforidua, by the time the teacher gets here, it becomes difficult. We have been missing periods because of that. And then another issue is that we have over 2,000 girls in school as at now. That is only even Form 1 and Form 3. And we have few teachers living with them. It becomes difficult to monitor how they are. But if we are able to finish this and make teachers come and reside in it, I think we will have more teachers who will be on campus, and then they will help to mold the children as it is.
You heard there's some staff of the Ebri Girls Senior High School speaking to City News on condition of anonymity. Meanwhile, the assemblyman for Ebri West electoral area, Daniel Asiama, has also added his voice to this call.
The government should come in to help. The 18 rooms can afford some more teachers. Those they are coming from Accra every day to get a room. I think here, if you want to rent a room, if you don't have like 500 cedi there, you cannot get a nice room to stay. So I think the government should see the contractor and sit with the contractor and see how it can do best to pay the percentage the contractor wants. I'm going my knees. This thing, I'll go my knees to let the government will come in to assess us. Ebri Girls is one of the best schools in Ghana, and see they have like they have like 100 teachers, 100 staff. So I think the government should come in.
Daniel Asiama is the assemblyman for Ebri West electoral area.
The University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, says its decision to accept or reject the domestic debt exchange program will be based on the government's proposal. The finance minister emphasized the ministry's commitment during the mid-year budget to encompass pensioners in the ongoing debt restructuring initiative to further revive the ailing economy. Despite having previously opposed the idea of inclusion, UTAG remained resolute in deferring its pension contributions from the DDEP until they are presented with satisfactory choices. The association plans to engage with organized labour in a meeting tomorrow to assess the options. Professor Solomon Nono, UTAG president, discussed these matters with Citi News' Freddy Ho in an interview.
Way back in November, December last year, organized labor, we had a common view where we signed a memorandum of agreement with government, with the Ministry of Finance in attendance. And in that, basically what we said was that the DDEP pension funds are not part of it. So this is something that has come to us new. We need to come together and then look at it. But as of now, our members know that pension funds are not part of the DDEP program. So this is the new thing, and that's why organized labor decided to meet quickly and take a decision on it.
Is it the possibility that there will be a change from the previous stance?
That one may depend. I say may depend on maybe what is on offer. But our previous stance was that we are not shifting from adding it to it. But currently, we need to go and look at what our leaders have been told, and then together we'll make a decision.
You heard the president of UTAG, Professor Solomon Nuno. Now, inadequate school infrastructure and the dilapidated nature of existing ones in the Wa East district of the Upper West region are impeding academic work in most basic schools in the area. The District Director of Education, Aisha Jason, who disclosed this to Citi News' Latif Muhammad, says some pupils are compelled to study on the bare floor due to an acute shortage of furniture for basic school in the district. She thus appealed for urgent intervention to sustain or improve learning outcomes in the area.
You go to some of the schools and the children are still lying on their tummies. Others are sitting on kitchen stools. It's a big challenge. So I will have to ask for people, philanthropists and individuals, anybody who can help to support us in the area of the furniture.
Madam Jason also complained about teacher absenteeism, which she attributed to the deplorable nature of roads in the district.
It's very deplorable. And you start, and then a place you use about 30 minutes to go, you use 1 hour, 30 minutes or 2 hours. And whatever you want to go and do there, by the time you get there, maybe closing, it's time for closing. So if you want to go to some of the places, as early as 5:30, 6, I have to leave the house, or the teachers will have to leave their houses. So that is a big challenge to us.
Aisha Jinson is the Wa East District Director of Education.
Let's bring you other stories now. The National Labour Commission, NLC, will later today hold a hearing on the matter involving Sana Nasogli Power Limited and Organised Labour on a demand by the latter to reinstate 3 dismissed workers. Sana Nasogli months back relieved the 3 staff of their positions for allegedly joining the Ghana Mine Workers Union under the Trades Union Congress, TUC. Subsequently, members of the union declared a strike last month, but called it off following the Council of State's intervention. Now, a declaration by the NLC to the power company to reinstate the union executives fell on deaf ears. Now, the NLC gave Sana Nasogli a day ultimatum to reach a final determination on the Trades Union Congress's demand. Going into today's meeting, the NLC is hoping to bring finality to the protracted impasse between the company and organised labour.
Now, President for the Chamber of Local Governance, Dr. Richard Fiadamo, has called on the Minister for Local Government and Rural Development, Dan Bochi, to stop meddling in the affairs of the administrator of the District Assembly's Common Fund. The minister accused the administrator Natoshi Ado of refusing to align with the ministry in the strategic determination of beneficiary districts in the allocation of the fund. Dr. Fiadamo, speaking to Citi News, says Mr. Boche must respect the Local Government Act.
It's unfortunate for the minister in particular to even write to reporting the Common Fund State. I want to go back to the Act. If you look at Section 126 of the Act, if you look at 3, it says that the minister shall, in consultation with the minister responsible for finance, determine the category of expenditure of the approved development budget of district assemblies that must in each year be met out of the amount received by the district assemblies from the district assemblies common fund. So what it means is that after monies have been paid into the common fund and it is now distributed to the assemblies, the local government minister, in consultation with the Minister of Finance, must ensure the monies that have been released are used for the very intended purpose. So if you now have a local government minister wanting to now tell the DSTF administrator to now align her office to his office, it tells you that this is a minister who doesn't even know about the act that he is even working.
Dr. Fiadamo also urged government to settle the over 4 billion cedis owed the District Assembly's Common Fund to enhance development at the local level.
The finance minister or ministry has failed to respect the dictates of the Constitution and indeed the Act of Parliament that requires that every quarter monies that have been collected at 5% of the total revenue of this country must be paid into the District Assembly's Common Fund. This is not being done, and this is in arrears for over 4 quarters, and that is what is occasioning the 4 billion that is owed the District Assembly's Common Fund. So all these things can only be blamed at the doorstep of the Finance Minister, who has blatantly refused to respect the dictates of Ghana's Constitution and indeed the Act of Parliament.
That was the president of the Chamber for Local Governance, Dr. Richard Fiadamo.
Now, one of the students of the University of Energy and Natural Resources in Sunyani involved in the near lynching of another student after he was mistaken for a thief has been arrested. The incident happened last Thursday during one of the activities of the Student Representative Council SRC Week celebration. The victim, William Thompson, was accused of stealing a mobile phone by an occupant of a hostel he entered to make use of the washroom. One of the students came to physically assault him in the process. The security personnel of the university came to his rescue and was rushed to the hospital immediately. Now, speaking to Citi News, the Deputy Registrar in charge of the University Relations Office, Alfred Ohene Nana Apia, said the victim has been treated and discharged, and the case is now before the Odumasi police station.
This happened on the night of Thursday, that was last week. And it was during one of the activities for the SRC week. So he was at the regional hospital from the Friday to Sunday late in the afternoon when he was discharged. And the case is now before the Odumasi police station.
Have any arrests been made?
Apparently, when the thing happened, the lead person, we couldn't find him. He went into hiding. But through the experience of our security head, and that was Saturday, we got hint of where he was hiding. He went there and we got him and handed him over to the police. A committee will be set up that will involve the security and the students and the dean of students' office for them to look into the facts of the case. And if there's any punishment or disciplinary action to be meted out, then he goes. And this one is being done aside the issue at the police.
Alfred Ohinenana Apia is the Deputy Registrar in charge of the University Relations Office at the University of Energy and Natural Resources.
This is still the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. Still to come, we take you to the Upper West region where some persons with disability in the Wa municipality have expressed grave concerns over the government's delay in the disbursement of the District Assembly's Common Fund, forcing them into dire economic hardship. We have details coming up shortly. Please stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
The much-awaited Premier League season is here. Citi FM and TalkSport invite you to the launch of the 2023-2024 English Premier League season and hangout. Get ready to witness heart-pounding action, fierce rivalries, and jaw-dropping skills as the Premier League returns for another thrilling season.
Oh, and the goalkeeper Sarah's passed it straight to Mahrez. Haaland for the hat-trick! Haaland scored!
Man City take on Arsenal in the official curtain raiser of the 2023-2024 season, the Community Shield. Come, let's hang out and watch some football as we launch the 2023-2024 season of the English Premier League. It's happening Sunday, 6th of August, 2023 at 12 noon on the Citi TV premises in Tessama. See you there. This event is strictly by invitation.
Oh, that's a wonderful goal! Cross it now, 1-0. Well, it came from nowhere.
Happy birthday to you. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Throughout all life-changing moments such as graduations, weddings, funerals, birthdays, ATL is there to ensure you're never out of style. When you think fabric, think ATL. Log on to atlfabrics.com. Order and buy your favorite ATL fabric. You can also visit our shop at number 40 Kwame Nkrumah Avenue, opposite the Swansea Shopping Arcade at Accra Central. Also available in leading fabric dealer shops in Accra, Kumasi, and Cape Coast. ATL, bringing fabric to life.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Some persons with disabilities in the Wa municipality of the Upper West region have expressed grave concerns over the government's delay in the disbursement of the District Assembly's Common Fund. According to them, the delay in the disbursement is denying them their share of the Common Fund at the Assembly, resulting in severe economic hardship within the disabled community in the Wa municipality, especially in this time of mounting inflationary pressures. Citi News' Latif Mahama has more in the following report.
The District Assembly's Common Fund Act 1993 as amended mandates metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies across the country to allocate 3% of their common funds to the disabled communities in their jurisdictions. The ultimate goal of the 3% allocation is to reduce poverty and severe economic hardship among persons with disabilities. Available records from the Wa Municipal Office of the Social Welfare and Community Development indicate that the municipality has about 2,000 persons with disabilities. Some of these physically challenged persons are beneficiaries of the Disability Fund, as it offers them some form of economic independence, especially through financial empowerment and skills training. This notwithstanding, some persons with disabilities in the municipality are unhappy that the undue delays in the disbursement of their share of the common fund are increasingly defeating the purpose of the fund.
The common fund is giving us not enough for us. In fact, it doesn't come very frequently. It doesn't come always. It will come once in a while. And our friends are always in need of money to support themselves or to make themselves somehow better. You know, others are not their family, their parents, they are just idling. That's how some of them in the street begging. Because they have no able to help them or to feed them, to give them money to buy their need. That's why we are calling on the government to actually implement that common fund to be coming always so that we'll get money to support in Upper West here.
Citi News sources indicate that the disabled in the Wa municipality have not received any disbursement for more than 4 quarters now. Mubarak Haruna and his peers took up the challenge to learn to weave, but he says they are confronted with the challenge of unemployment.
I completed this work 2013. I wrote a lot of letters to other various institutions for them to help me so that I can also train my colleagues. I even went to Don Bosco School. That's a mental challenge. The head was so happy. He wrote his cabinet letter, and I added my letter. We sent it to special education. We did not hear anything. WADEF, they also requested for me, but it didn't yield any results. So a lot of my friends are also facing the same challenges. So if the government can able to look on those issues so that we can, when we also finish this training, we can also share our knowledge to our colleagues who are also in the various schools, because this is what we are also doing to take care of our children and our wives. So it's not a job that is not helping, it's a job that is helping all of us. So if we're helping to train our colleagues, I think they also come out with something.
The Wa Municipal Assembly, through the Department of Social Welfare and Community Development, constructed this facility to serve as a one-stop shop for the Blind Weavers Association.
This facility right behind us is a center for the people with disability, especially the visually impaired, those who do weaving and sell. We have received concerns from them with regards to the safety and security of their lives, especially when they go into town to sell their products, and those are the camp beds and other small items that they weave. There are countless occasions where some of them are knocked down by vehicles. Some get themselves wounded in another way or form as a result of roaming on the streets. So when we hear their plight, we think that it is something that we have to attend to. And then looking at the population of this municipality, in totality, we are about 200,000 people. And then going 200,000 people, I mean the population of this municipality. And going through our records, especially with regards to the people with disabilities, we've registered over 2,000. And that accounts for about 1% of the total population of the municipality. And that is quite significant. And then we cannot allow them to be on their own just like that. These are people who are disadvantaged in one way or the other. And we think that as municipal authority, we should find a way of helping them to incorporate very well into the society.
The right to dignified life is enshrined in the 1992 Constitution of Ghana.
persons living with disabilities here in the Upper West region are therefore calling on the government to help enhance their living standards. Reporting for City News, my name is Latif Mahama. Wa.
Now, here in the Greater Accra region, the 37 Military Hospital has served notice that it will, on Friday, September 1, 2023, embark on a mass burial for unclaimed bodies. The planned exercise, according to the hospital's management, is to decongest its morgue of identified but unclaimed as well as unidentified bodies. They lament that the storage of these unclaimed bodies, which causes congestion in the morgue, affects efficiency in its day-to-day operation. Now, the general public is, however, being urged to assist in identifying the bodies at the Department of Pathology of the 37 Military Hospital from Thursday 3 August to Thursday 31 August 2023.
A 21-year-old fetish priest suspected of being a thief has been lynched at Salt Pond in the Central Region. The lifeless body of the priest, identified only as Michael, was found close to a refuse dump in the Salt Pond Anglican Basic School area in the Infantimar municipality on Tuesday. Michael has been identified by community members as a serial thief. According to some persons who found his body, his legs were tied with a rope while the side of the head has been slashed with sharp objects. No arrest has been made.
Now, government has announced plans by the Ghana Police Service to collaborate with the private sector in providing training for civilians deemed fit to acquire firearms in the country. Section 61 of the Arms and Ammunition Regulation provides the opportunity for some categories of persons to acquire firearms. Answering questions on the floor of Parliament, the Minister of Interior, Ambrose Derry, says the law would be amended to offer training to applicants who require the use of firearms.
The Ghana Police Service, within its mandate to regulate all civil category of firearms in the country, ensures the following. 1. All applicants apply to the nearest police station with reasons why they require an firearm. 2. Applicants are interviewed and made to complete an application form which gives more detailed information about the applicant. 3. Thorough background checks are conducted by the Criminal Data Service Bureau and the Intelligence Unit of the CID headquarters to ensure, among others, that the applicant is physically fit, of a sound mind, and has a secure place to keep the firearm. Mr. Speaker, the Ghana Police Service is currently assessing possibilities of establishing a modern shooting range for use by qualified persons in need of training. And that is what we are working on now.
Ambrose Derry is the Minister of Interior.
Now, policy think tank Ghana Center for Democratic Development, CDD Ghana, is calling on the government to strengthen its local governance within urban areas to improve upon the quality of life of citizens. CDD Ghana noted this as part of concerns raised by its respondent when the organization conducted a survey in 3 key regions in the country on evaluating the quality of life of city residents. Speaking on the sidelines at the launch of the Ghana Cities Monitor Report, which also seeks to evaluate essential services and infrastructure for socio-economic well-being of citizens, research analyst with CDD Ghana, Guilford Isiama, urged government to be receptive in making city life comfortable.
When you compare the cities in the south, cities in Greater Accra and Kumasi, compared with cities in the northern region, you take the feedback of citizens. I think the past National Urban Plan, they are currently revising it. And this even serves as a very good opportunity where the leadership or these people who have the authority will listen to what the people are saying so that they focus on areas where there are major challenges and then they try to resolve these challenges. So we want government to listen to the people. We want even all of us, the media, civil society, to also keep discussing issues that are very peculiar to citizens, the quality of life of citizens in our city and urban spaces. Research
analyst with CDD Ghana, Guilford Isiama. Now, This national gender policy aimed at mainstreaming gender in the national development process to enhance participation of women, men, girls, boys and girls for sustainable and equitable development for poverty eradication has expired. The Minister of Gender, Children and Social Protection, Lariba Zura Abudu, answering a question on the floor of Parliament, said the national gender policy, which served as the supporting policy framework for the approval of the Affirmative Action Bill, has expired. The minister stated that the Affirmative Action Bill was resubmitted to Cabinet in March this year for consideration and approval after assuming office in January this year. In a Citi News interview, the project coordinator for the Affirmative Action Bill Coalition, Becky Ahaji, said the coalition intends to picket at the ministry to put pressure on government to pass the bill. This is still the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM Stories. We have been bringing you this hour. 2 more persons arrested over Cecilia Abnadapa's stolen money. Meanwhile, lawyer for one of the accused persons is accusing the police of frustrating their effort in meeting the bail conditions. We also took you to the Ashanti region, where tricycle operators in that region have escalated their protest against a KMA directive to restrict their movement into the central business district as the implementation of the ban enters its second day. We spoke to our regional correspondent, Hafiz Tijani, who tells us that due to the protest, there is heavy traffic in the central business district of Kumasi. And still in that region, we brought you a story where 4 persons have been confirmed dead in an accident at Nkinka and Sodaso on the Kumasi-Techiman Highway. We also took you to the Upper West region, where some persons with disability in the Wa municipality have expressed grave concerns over the government's delay in the disbursement of the District Assembly's Common Fund, forcing them into dire economic hardship. And you just heard from CDD Ghana, who are calling on the government to strengthen its local governance within urban areas to improve upon the quality of life of people living in urban areas. Kweku, what story do you have for us?
We do more stories, and the construction work on the 3-tier interchange at the Nungwa barrier of the Accra-Tama Beach Road is set to resume today, according to the Krowo Municipal Assembly. Joshua Nibote, the municipal chief executive, assures that the government is diligently working to ensure the project's completion. Now, the halt in construction had prompted complaints from motorists and commuters about the poor conditions on the Nungwa barrier stretch. Now, Mr. Bote urges motorists to exercise patience and also assuring that the interchange will be completed in due course.
2 months ago, the whole place was waterlogged and motorists couldn't even ply that road. But you'll be able to fix it with stones, as about 2-3 weeks ago. Now, what you want to talk of is the bypasses that you see machines there to start working on the bypass that is there. In fact, initially, the Chinese should have worked on that, but they wanted to advance in the job they are doing before they tackle the bypasses. This one is part of it, so we'll fix it. So it's a gradual process. Everybody needs roads, so it's a gradual process. It's all about funding, so we'll beg motorists to have a little patience for us.
Joshua Nibote is a Krowo Municipal Chief Executive.
And that's how we end today's edition of the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studios in Adabraka, Accra. The news was also live on all affiliates across the 16 regions of the country. In the Western region, you heard us live on Nigerian Power 100.7 in Tekka, Beach FM 105.5 in Tekrade. Bono region, we were live on Greener FM 95.9 in Sunyain. Ashanti region, Focus FM 94.3 on KNUST campus in Kumasi. Orange FM 107.9 also in Kumasi. Volta region, Revival FM 99.3 in Tajewu. VOV Radio 95.7 in Hohoi. Northern region, Radio Bimbela 91.9 in Bimbela. Upper East, Quality FM 88.7 in Garu. Upper West, we were live on Tonsong FM 97.3 in Wa and Jirapa FM 96.1 in Jirapa. Please log on to citynewsroom.com for more stories. My name is Hawa Idrisu Mustafa, and this afternoon I was here with
Kweku Ediamansa.
Ni Latte is up next with the afternoon's edition of Citi Business News. Many thanks for doing the listening. Do have a great afternoon.